Hello, in this short video we're going to have a look at a new feature coming very soon to DBmarlin, which is our ChatGPT integration. So large language models like ChatGPT are all the rage at the moment, and we've been experimenting for some time about how we might integrate this into DBmarlin to save time and get into the root cause of database problems. And what we've found is that it's actually really powerful. So I just wanted to give you a quick preview of what this may look like, obviously subject to change before this is finally released. But it's integrated in a few places. So first of all, we just have this pop-out side panel over here, and you can just type a message and type whatever you like in there. Now, this is always something that appears on every screen, no matter what screen you're on. You can pop that out, you can ask it any question you like, ideally database performance related. But that's one way to access this from wherever you are. But then we've also added some shortcuts in a few places as well. So for example, if I go to this Oracle RDS instance, you can see, if I just look at the weights on the chart, and you can see them here, spend a lot of its time in this particular weight event, Resource Manager CPU Quantum. So you may want to figure out what you can actually do to reduce all that time. It seems to be a lot of time here spent waiting on that. So the old way of doing this, if you've used DBmarlin before, was to use our knowledge base, and you could click here and that will give you an article with some explanation about what you can do about that. But you now have an AI option as well, so I can do send to AI, and you can see the prompt that it is automatically sent here. It's told it the database technology type, which was Oracle. It's given it the weight events where it's spending its time, and asked the question about how these can be reduced. So under the covers here, this is using GPT-4 as the model. So we'll give that a few seconds to come back with a response. You can see from the button here it's still loading in the background, and now it's come back with a response. So DBmarlin Co-pilot here is said here, let's understand what each of these weight events mean. So it's actually listed all 10 things that you saw here that the database is waiting on. The number one thing was Resource Manager CPU Quantum. That means that the database is waiting for CPU resources managed by Oracle's Resource Manager. To minimize this, you might need to look at adjusting your Resource Manager plan. So you can then, just because this is a chatbot, you could say, tell me more about Resource Manager CPU Quantum, and it would give you some more follow-up information based on that as well. So that's just generating the response now. We'll just wait for that one to come back. So there you go, and it's give you a more detailed answer, telling you it's basically a CPU bottleneck. So in this case, I know this RDS instance is undersized. It's on the very smallest RDS size, and it's not sufficient to handle the workload that I'm throwing at it. So one thing to do here might be to increase the size of instance to throw more memory at it. But obviously the other thing that we've always promoted is to actually try and optimize the database before you start spending money to do that. So if we go to our statements tab over here, this is our list of top statements. You can see most of these are waiting on Resource Manager CPU Quantum. I'm just going to click into the second one here, just because this is a nice example. You get to the statement screen here where you've got the statement text and the execution plan. And if you was tuning this manually, you would look at the step here, table access, full on the rides table. Again, the old way of doing this would have been to use our knowledge base if you didn't understand what full table scan was, and we've got some detail around that and links to some Oracle documentation. But this is another integration point for our AI integration. So we've got a button here that says send to DBmarlin AI. You can see now the prompt that it's sent is giving it the database technology type Oracle, it's giving it the statement text, and it's also giving it the execution plan, and ask the question, how can I tune this? So if we give that a few seconds now, it will come back with some suggestions. So first of all, indexes. If the rise table is large, which it is, you may benefit from an index. In the where clause, you've got the pickup date time. So that's the one over here, the one that makes sense to index. Be aware that indexes can improve query performance, but also slow down insert, update, delete operations, which is good to know. And then it actually gives you the text here of the create index statement on the rides table using the pickup date time column. So you could just copy and paste that into your SQL editor of choice and run that, create the index, and come back here to verify that that index had indeed speeded this up. In this case, it would speed it up massively. It would be more than 10,000 times faster with that index on there, and that would massively drop the CPU requirements for this instance, and therefore I guess remove the need for you to even look at CPU resource manager, quantum weights, and scaling up the RDS instance. You could basically just solve the problem by creating this index. It does also give you some other suggestions here, things around partitioning, which is also useful if you've got very large tables to partition them, and also making sure your statistics are up to date, because that can influence the plan that the optimizer comes out with. So this is the Oracle statement here, DBS gather table stats, which you can use to update the statistics for this rides table, just to make sure you're getting the most optimal plan possible. You can see where we're going there with our ChatGPT integration, both for tuning statements and for optimizing weight events, but just having it there in that side panel where you can slide it out, ask any questions you like, and it's there just like your own kind of personal assistant when you're using DBmarlin. So that should be in the product very soon. We're just adding some final touches to it, so look out for that, and please do send us any feedback, and look out for more videos coming soon. Thanks for listening.